Have you ever realized that someone's luxury lifestyle was actually fake? I met Devin when we were 12, back when we both lived in the same rundown apartment complex on the east side. We used to split gas station sandwiches because neither of us could afford a whole one. So when he messaged me after 5 years saying he was back in town, I was genuinely excited to see him. He pulled up to the bar in a Porsche Cayenne, wearing a Rolex and a leather jacket that probably cost more than my rent. Crypto consulting, he said. When I asked what he'd been up to, he ordered us drinks without looking at the price, left a 50% tip, and kept showing me photos of his penthouse downtown. I was happy for him. We'd both come from nothing, and seeing him make it felt like proof that getting out was possible. The following week, he asked if he could crash at my place for a few days. Penthouse is getting renovated. They're redoing the floors. Just need somewhere temporary. I didn't think twice about saying yes. Those few days turned into a week, then 2, then 3. The Porsche sat in my apartment complex lot with a dealer plate. I didn't notice at first. One night I saw him wearing his Rolex and the second hand was skipping. Real Rolexes don't do that. I didn't say anything because I didn't want to embarrass him, but something felt wrong. He was on his laptop until 3 a.m. most nights, typing constantly, using apps I didn't recognize. When I asked what he was working on, he'd just say client stuff and change the subject. Then one morning, I woke up to pounding on my door. 2 plainclothes detectives, badges out. Is Devin Marsh here? Before I could answer, they pushed past me with a warrant. Devin walked out of the guest room in handcuffs, looking at the floor, refusing to make eye contact. They tore through my apartment like a hurricane, pulling drawers, flipping couch cushions, seizing his laptop and phone. One detective stayed with me in the kitchen while the others worked. How long have you known Mr. Marsh? Since we were kids. We grew up together. She wrote that down, then looked at me carefully. Did he tell you what he does for work? Crypto consulting. She didn't even try to hide her reaction. Mr. Marsh runs romance scams. He's stolen over $800,000 from victims across 6 states in the last 2 years. My stomach dropped. He catfishes people on dating sites, builds trust over months, then asks for money. Medical emergencies, business investments, visa fees. He's extremely good at it. I couldn't speak. The penthouse photos he showed you, those are from Airbnb listings. The Porsche is leased under a fake company. That Rolex is worth about $40. She pulled out a folder and slid it across my kitchen counter. He listed you as a character reference on a rental application. Used your address on bank statements. We need to ask you some questions. I spent the next 3 hours being interrogated in my own apartment. They wanted to know if I was involved, if I knew what he was doing, if I'd helped him in any way. I told them everything, showed them our text messages, explained how long he'd been staying. The lead detective finally put her notebook away. You're not being charged, but you need to get a lawyer. He's tangled you into this mess pretty deeply. After they left with Devin, I sat on my couch staring at the wall. The dinner at the steakhouse came back to me suddenly. He'd paid with a credit card I'd never seen before, made a big show of it. I wondered whose card that was, which victim's money had bought my steak. The Porsche got repossessed from my parking lot 2 days later. The apartment complex manager asked me why federal agents had been at my door. I spent $4,000 on a lawyer over the next month, clearing my name, proving I wasn't involved. Devin's last text came through before they took his phone. Thanks for everything, bro. I blocked his number immediately. 6 weeks later, I got a call from the prosecutor's office. They needed me to testify about the timeline of his stay, the things he'd told me, the lifestyle he'd portrayed. I said yes because his victims deserved that much. At the hearing, I saw 3 of them, 2 older women and 1 man in his 60s. One woman had sent him $200,000 over 8 months, thinking she was helping her fiancé start a business. She'd never met him in person. Devin got 12 years federal prison. I never visited him. A year later, I ran into his mom at the grocery store. She asked if I'd heard from him. I told her no, and she nodded like she'd expected that. He used to be such a good kid, she said quietly. I didn't have the heart to tell her. I didn't recognize that kid anymore. The Devin I knew died somewhere between 12 years old